What is next for the Philadelphia Eagles? Are we finally going to start dipping into the second wave of free agency here and start to bring off some veteran players? Maybe find somebody who can line up out there at wide receiver and play football? Can we maybe find someone outside of Anthony Harris to add to the safety room? What about the cornerback position opposite of Darius Slay? What about some internal things? I got a name for you to watch out for, guys. Let's get into this. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Stephen Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. So, I've been really thinking, trying to figure out, okay, what is the next move here? We know we cleared up a lot of cap space. It feels like there could be some stuff going on to where maybe Howie's visiting some of the trade market stuff and trying to figure out maybe some avenues to add talent to the roster, or maybe trying to gear up to get one more big signing in. Who knows ultimately? But there is one thing I can say that has bothered me about the structure of contracts on the Philadelphia Eagles roster and what might be kind of the next big move coming up. Just Brandon Graham, guys. If you go back and you look at Fletcher Cox's contract and you look at Jason Kelsey's contract, two guys that are veteran players that the Eagles said basically they're look, we're going to have to do something with these guys' contracts. They're just not going to play for that base salary. And one thing I want to clear up, there's a lot of confusion around what happens when you restructure guys' contracts. So, guys, when you convert base money into like bonus money, understand the player's not owed anything. It's actually in the player's benefit. Because when you convert that into a signing bonus, the player then receives that money that they may have received, they may not have received, depending on the structure of the contract, and they get it immediately. But what ends up happening is you're prorating the money, meaning, just like a car payment, you're dividing it up to pay it back to the league in installments, yearly installments. So that's why what ends up happening with dead money, guys, when guys get released. The player is not owed anything. The league is owed the money because we promised the league to pay it back. So when we cut that guy, instead of getting the luxury of paying them over 2-3 years, if you June 1st it, you can get it in 2 years, right? You can pay everything that's owed this year, then the remaining contract the following year, or you can just outright cut them before June 1st with no designation, and everything in the contract that's dead money is due. So that's kind of how that stuff works. We were kind of up against it when you looked at guys like Fletcher Cox, you looked at guys like Jason Kelsey, because there's nowhere that they can, renegotiate their contract. So there's just no way of taking something that's only like $1 million in base salary. Like, there's a league minimum salary, guys. There's just no way of doing that. You have to pay them. So it kind of put us in that situation where we end up giving both of these players 1 year, $14 million deals. I'm not saying that this other player is getting a 1 year, $14 million deal, guys. Don't mistake what I'm saying here. I'm saying this person has the same circumstances to where they are on a contract with a lot of dummy years and a lot of strange kind of cap flexibility things going on because they've restructured so much that their base salary is next to nothing. Brandon Graham, guys, they got to figure something out around Brandon Graham because I would love for Brandon Graham to come in here and play for just a little over $1 million, being a guy that's 10 years in the league plus. That'd be a great value for the Eagles, a lot of cap help for the Eagles. I don't know. I don't know if he would do that, guys. I mean, my money would be on he probably would not do that. That they'll have to come up with some way of paying that man. I'm not too sure what they do, but I do know that Darius Slay has given us cap flexibility by reworking his deal and taking a large sum of his money into a signing bonus, right? So Darius Slay's been paid, guys. He got the check cut to him. It's just that now we can take a lot of that base salary and now divide it up instead of having it in 1 year over 2, 3, 4 years, however they structured that contract, that renegotiation, guys. So, my opinion, the guy you got to watch out for is Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham would be the next guy up if we do things internally. That would make a ton of sense to me, right? They also haven't quite, I don't think they've come to an agreement with Nate Herbig yet. He's another guy I'd kind of watch out for over the next week to see if Nate Herbig comes under a contract, because I do think Nate Herbig makes some sense there, but that's kind of the way these contracts are shaping out, guys. I mean, that's the way it works when you convert base salary into option money or into a signing bonus. You're basically deferring that payment from this year on to subsequent years, but the player themselves is normally paid, guys. If it's in a signing bonus, they're absolutely paid, and that's 90-some% of all these contracts when they're restructured like that are into a signing bonus. Sorry, guys, my neighbors are heading out. So, what does that leave us, guys? What does that leave us? Where are we at here? Well, I mean, we're at a situation now to where you got a guy that, where does he fit in your future? You're going to have to make a decision. Do you cut him? Do you cut him and bring him back like you did Fletch? Or do you try to rework an extension? I mean, that would be the other possibility, guys. You can't really restructure that because there's nothing to restructure there, right? Same kind of circumstances as Kelsey, same kind of circumstances as Fletch. There was just nothing there to basically do there, right? They basically extended Kelsey for another year. They cut and then re-signed Fletch. Now you're stuck with this decision on Brandon Graham. What do you do with Brandon Graham? That's what I would look out for, guys. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I'm like you. I hope nothing happens and Brandon Graham's just happy playing on a little over $1 million worth of base salary. That would be, I think, most of our hopes here. But I can't, I can't say that definitively, guys. It seems unlikely to me. But watch out for it, guys. That's all I can say is just watch out for the Brandon Graham contract, y'all. All right, guys, leave your comments down below. What do you think in terms of some free agent options or what the Eagles could do? Like I said, guys, I would look out for that cornerback number 2 position. Guys like Xavier Rhodes and some of these other guys that are veterans that might be out there that have maybe some familiarity with either Denard Wilson or with, Jonathan Gannon would make some sense here. Outside of that, guys, I don't know. You're depending upon what your pro scouts think of guys, and I don't know, guys. I don't have communication with any of these guys, so I don't know if they have another person pegged that they've just been scouting for years and said to themselves if there ever became an opportunity, we'd like to chase this individual. So who knows on that front, guys. Safety, I still think even with Anthony Harris coming back, I don't think the Eagles are going to stand pat there. I mean, I definitely think that they'll try to look for something inside the draft. I do think that's a possibility, but I think if the right value plays its way out with some of these guys that are in free agency, I could see the Eagles going there, but a lot of the really big-name guys are gone. So I think it's really a matter of the second and third wave and how the values come down to what they do. Let's be honest. Right now, you're bargain shopping. You're past that first day, so you're into the bargain, right? You got to be careful. And give Howie his credit, man. I mean, I give Howie crap for a lot of things. Like I said, guys, I'm not I love Fletcher Cox returning, guys. I don't like that contract. I think that contract's a big mistake. But I give Howie his credit for other things, like how he played the Steven Nelson and cornerback number 2 situation last year. He showed patience, and he did a good job on that, to be quite honest. I think there's a few things like the receiver, getting a veteran receiver in here, getting a cornerback number 2, getting a safety, maybe even adding a veteran linebacker. I don't think the Eagles are done, man. I definitely think that you could see some of these more value-added players that'll come later on. I just think Howie's waiting for the market to kind of make sense a little bit. I think that's what he's doing, honestly. But leave your comments down below, guys. Who do you think may or may not be in the works here for Philadelphia, guys? It's getting hard, right? Because you get deeper and deeper, man. It definitely becomes a little bit of a mystery of who they might target as you get deeper and deeper into this. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you guys on the next video.